I want to welcome everybody to this demonstration. Kada Scott aunt Bree talks about her gift and how it helped her solve the case. Salute to the chat. Salute to the replay gang. Salute to my moderators. Let me read this copyright disclaimer. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. What that means is that everything that you hear in this demonstration is for entertainment and educational purposes only. So, Bree is going to be joining me on the panel. So I'll give her a few more minutes to pull up. Now, for those that are not familiar with Bree, I'll just give y'all a brief rundown on Bree, Kada Scott's aunt. And Bree, if you're having trouble with clicking on that link that I sent you, you could click on this blue StreamYard link and you'll come up on a panel with me. So either the link that I sent you or either this blue StreamYard link in the chat. Now, Bree gave a sighting of what took place. Now, this was when Kada Scott was reported missing. So this was before any information about the case was released to the public by law enforcement. Bree, she spoke on certain things pertaining to the case. She mentioned that there was an individual with dreadlocks involved. She also mentioned the whereabouts of Kada Scott's remains. Now, when I first tapped into the case, I did raise the question, could Bree be a part of what happened to Kada? I did. But then I started to backtrack things, and people from Philly started to tap in with me. And they said, Shank, this wasn't Bree's first case that she was spot on with. And then somebody, matter of fact, my barber, he made this analyzation of the case with Bree. He said if the aunt, if she did have something to do with it, I doubt if she would have came out before any of this information was released. I doubt if she would have, spoke on it, knowing that she was involved. And then just when it comes to the witch doctors, when it comes to the psychics, and this is Bree right here. So let me just bring Bree on. Hey, Bree.
Hey, how are you?
All right. You doing okay?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
All right. I'm doing good.
That's
So let's just jump straight into this. Now, for me, I never believed in the psychics.
good.
However, after covering these cases and backtracking and doing my own investigation, a lot of you psychics, witch doctors have been spot on. Right?
Yes.
Okay. I'm 50-50. Okay. Y'all got my attention. So before we get into the Kada Scott case, help me understand more. So I had a psychic on my show the other day in reference to the Naziah Harris case. And
Okay.
she mentioned that she got uh her power, her to be able to be psychic from her grandmother.
Mm-hmm.
Share with us where you received your power or your gift.
Well, first of all, we all have gifts. Now, that's number one. Number two, some gifts are strengthened more than others. And the reason of that being is because when we're born into this universe, our light gets dimmed immediately based upon we're
Mm,
shocked through the light that's beamed on us as we come out the canal. So
mm,
now it's upon you as you grow to get more in tune. But some people, well, majority people, veil is thin, is what the old school would call it. It's based upon traumas. So traumas is like cracking something open, and it cracks open the pineal gland, which is your third eye. So it's more prone and sensitive to the unseen, and it protrudes your gifts that you already have and enhances them. But it also, as you get more in tune spiritually within self, you have other gifts that start prevailing. Now, people that's like me, is definitely bloodline lineage in a lot of ways. Because I have family that I'm a mutt, is what you call it. My family's from Martinique, and they were a line of witches and hoodoo practitioners. Is from the south of my grandmother was Geechee, and the other one is Native. And when I say the other one, that's my father's side and my mother's side as well. So all of them are a background of what I get into, if that makes sense. Um,
yes.
Growing up in those type of houses, coming up in my time, I'm not showing my age, but you didn't want to be labeled. You didn't want to be labeled in
What
those
year?
households.
You a 60s baby, 70s baby, or 80s baby? Come on. Come on.
What do I look like? That's the question. That's the question. What
All
do I
right.
look like?
Now, I'm a 70s baby.
Okay,
I'm gonna give you 80s, maybe 90s.
I like that.
Maybe 90s.
I like that. No, I'm a '70s baby. So
Okay.
whatever the case is, no time frames. You didn't want to be labeled as, oh, the house is this, the house is that. But you didn't, even though you didn't want to, you had no choice but to learn what was going on in that household. Whether you wanted to practice it or not, you better learn it. But a lot of times we get confused with this because people use this for as religion as a forefront. When they call prophetess and priestess and high priestess, you're simply doing nothing but use the religion for your gifts. That's all you're doing. If you take the religion away, it's just natural spirituality or hoodoo. Hoodoo is nothing but our oppressed ancestors and how they had to keep themselves, content or heal themselves with herbs and roots and things of that sort. These are elements. And your tongue is always manifestation. So anything you say off your tongue, what the old school, say what you mean and mean what you say. This is why it's important not to tell mothers you didn't tell nobody when they was pregnant, because you didn't want nobody placing bad juju thoughts over you or speaking ill words over you. That's all it is. But when you stop believing in these things, of course it's not going to work. You know what I mean? When people think they go to church or Islam, because I come from both. My grandma made me go to church, and then I accepted Islam over time when I was 16 all the way to my 40s. So when you go do these things and you pray to these, these gods and these books, you simply say, I need, can I have, can you help? All of those things happen. Do you see it happening the next day? No. You know when it happens? When you put your whole heart and your tongue into it. And then all of a sudden, now you got what you asked for. It's called manifestation. So you can't confuse the two. You understand? You have God, and then you have the books. But that's another story. It's another day. But back to how I became the way I am and my strengths and who I am, is in my bloodline. I was born with the veil. And like I said, some people veils is thinner than others. And some people have the gift to see the unseen. Some people have the gift to see the unseen and scared of the unseen because what they're taught about it, whether it's demonic or whatever it is. It's truly for the people that's gifted like me, you can't run away from this. You will get sick. You would have some type of blockage. You will feel stagnant. It's not a good feeling. You have to take those gifts, balance yourself, and use them to your best. Me, for a long time, I was unbalanced. I had them. I knew I had them. I just didn't want to do nothing with them. I would use them for my benefit, and that's it. Now I have a different calling because I am balanced. So I'm called to help others. That's my calling. It's not something I choose to do. I have to do it. Um, and I never was a social media platform person with this. Somebody that has a big platform media that I know had exposed me to it. Because everybody I deal with is off the media. I have been doing this for some time now. Um, and yeah, I didn't know how many of our people that was uneducated or needed help or just needed guidance. And of course, when you're doing something right, you get backlash for it. But then you gotta make people a believer at the same time. Because I'm more of a person. I believe in. I gotta show you the proof because I don't want you to just hear what I gotta say. So that's what I do a lot. And now people know who I am. So a lot of people come to me for help and stuff. But yeah, overall, being a two-headed doctor is different from being a tarot card reader or just this conjuring of stories. I'm a treater. Like I'm a two-headed doctor. I'm everything at once. So it's like I lay hands on people. That's on my page. This is stuff I do before the Kada case. I treat people. I'm a two-headed. I remove hexes off of people. I do all types of stuff. I cleanse your homes. I cleanse you. And do my stuff work. I let the people testimony for that, and it's a lot of good testimonies. So that's always good to know. I haven't had a bad one yet. That's what I will say. So yeah. So that's who I am. So there you have it.
Now, besides the Kada Scott case, has
Mm-hmm.
it been any other cases that you've been spot on? Because somebody on my last demonstration, they said Shank, she was spot on another case. Can you
Yes.
just share a little bit with us about that case?
My girl Diaz, her sons, Quadi, and I forgot the other young man name. But before she located her baby, we didn't start off on a good foot, by the way, me and her. But that's my baby in my heart now. But yeah, I've seen her case, but I didn't understand why this case kept reaching out to me. And so when I was on this case, I was watching, and what happened was somebody came in my kitchen, and it was an unseen person, the transformation people. So for those that don't know, I'm like Whoopi Goldberg. You ever see the ghost movie where all these spirits start coming and talking to you? And yes, that's me. So I'm trying to figure out who this person is. And I'm like, well, why is this person in my kitchen? Because I'm not afraid of spirits. So I'm like, why is this person in my kitchen? So I said, what you want? So Strictly was like, I'm in the water. I'm like, you're in the water? He's like, I'm tied down. And mind you, I didn't even know what was going on at the moment. I'm like, you tied down? Like, yes, I'm tied down. I'm like, who you tied in with? My friend. And sure enough, probably like later on that evening, I'm on social media and I see the case. I said, okay, this is her son. So this is the freaky part about it. So I called somebody that me and her both know. I said, tell her son is tied down under the water with his friend. And tell her that his other friend did this to them. She was hot. Sure. We arguing, going back and forth. And then, because one thing about people when they don't believe in this type of stuff and see this stuff, they don't want to believe in it. Even if you see a hint of it, it's like, keep that shit away from me. Excuse my language. But yeah,
You
so
good? You good.
wherever the case is, it was another medium or something that was on her case, and she confirmed basically what I was saying in so many words. And sure enough, I woke up to social media and my platform was going haywire. Like all these rings, all these notifications. And it was like, you was right. That is definitely what happened. And he had something, I think it was like some type of cement. Something was hanging to their ankles and their feet. And to this day, the person that had something to do with it is the person we were talking about. So that's been my baby ever since. And she
I'll wait till she come back in, y'all. Appreciate this membership, Evelyn. Appreciate you for becoming a member to the platform, Evelyn. I'll give Bree a little bit before She comes back in.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
I'm trying to hear y'all.
I can hear you. You good.
I can't. You can hear me, but I can't hear you.
You can't hear me at all? You can't hear me?
No.
Wow.
I don't know.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? You can't hear me? I'm gonna drop her down. I'm gonna drop you down and just come back up. Sometimes the audio messes up. So come back up, Bree. Yeah, this is powerful. This is very powerful, y'all. And for me, it's very interesting because for a long time, I didn't believe until I started covering cases and I started to take a deeper look into it. Um, so I'm glad that she's up here because she's clearing up a lot of misconceptions. I'm coming, Bree. I'm coming, Bree. Give me 1 second. And if y'all, okay, I got it. Here she go.
Go out and go back in. That's spirit sometimes. When they don't want me to talk too much, they'll exclude me out of here and they'll go through people and anything. But yeah, so
Can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you.
All right.
So that's what happened with Diaz's story. So ever since then we became cool. And there was another case after that in Philadelphia, the young lady was pregnant with her child and she lost her and I believe two other children in a fire recently. And I talked about that case and there you have it. So yeah, but outside of just solving cases, I'm beyond that. That's just something that spirit brings to my attention and I bring to my people attention. So I actually did a live with Kada situation and I showed spirits in my life that made people see for themselves. So yeah, that's who I am.
Now,
I'm the house.
I'm gonna just give me a second. Appreciate this super chat, Alicia. Alicia says Shank looks like you're starting to believe. Now, I'm gonna go deep with you now. You're gonna have to be careful now, because unlike you, I get scared. Just keeping it 100 now. Now when you talk about the spirits and all this stuff, I get scared, but I'm willing to learn. I'm
Yes.
willing to learn. All right. I get a good vibe from you,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm. You got me. All right. You got me.
Okay.
Now, when I first saw your demonstration, when I saw the first thing came in my mind was the aunt has
Mm-hmm.
something to do with this because you were spot on,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yes.
Now, how was you able to be spot on? And you might have said this before, but explain to me, how was you able to be spot on?
So when you get to my level, like I'm a high priestess, so it's levels to this, you know. So I'm like, you know how you know who you are, and you like I'm Shank, and that's who I am, and I stand on it because I'm Shank, right? That's how I know who I am. I'm very powerful at what I do. I'm very powerful at when it comes to help treating people, putting protection work over people, and I banish your ass too. I'll put some shit on your ass face. That's if
Don't
I
you do
have
that to
to.
me. Don't you do that to me, but go ahead.
That's if I
Go
have
ahead.
to. See,
Go
people don't know
ahead.
how to use that type of line of work. It has to be justifiable. You can't just do that because you're angry at somebody. It has to be a reason, a validated reason to do something like that. Because what you don't want to do is cross contaminate anything that you do that could harm others. You understand? But it's a balance in everything, and this is what people don't understand. And it's not just light; it's dark and light. They have to have a balance. So you have to know both. You have to respect both. You have to know how to do both. Um, but back to Kata's situation. Uh, the week prior to that, I was having dreams about my son. And my son and Kada are first cousins. Their fathers are brothers. So I kept having dreams about my son. And I'm like, well, I keep having dreams about Khalil. And I'm a dreamer. I talk to the transition in my dreams as well because they come to me in my dreams and stuff. And I see premonitions through my dreams. So I said, well, why does Khalil keep coming to me or whatever? And sure enough, I said, something's wrong with probably his father, somebody in his family, because it never represents the actual person in your dream. So I said, okay, I skipped over that part for a minute. The next week, me and him are outside, and this butterfly is a little darker than your jacket, was just landing on his hand outside like this. And it was staring at him. We both peeped it. We was like, he's like, you see this butterfly? I'm like, it looked like a human or something in there. Then it fly like right next to me like that, and it sat there with me and Khalil. And I said, okay. Now I have chickens in my home, like live chickens. So they're in my garage. And I had a total of 6 of them. I love my babies. I came in that garage, all my chickens was dead in one day. So I had my chickens for 2 years. So I said, death is at my door for sure. Now, the case had been going on for a week at that time. I call them my spirit babies because these are people that waking up, want to learn how to use and practice spirituality, learn their gifts, whatever it is. And she DM'd me on Instagram and she was like, Bree, what you feel about this story? Because they know me from solving stories in the past and stuff. So I'm like, what story? Because outside of social media, again, I have people that need me that I work with daily. So I'm like, well, what story? She was like, it's the story about this girl. I don't know. It's something about her. She reaches out to me. So I'm like, all right, send it to me, I get it. And it said Kada Scott. My son name is Khalil Scott. So I'm like, Kada Scott. I said, this better not be who I think it is. And sure enough, boop, it was her.
Wow.
So I said, okay, that's what it was. It was her calling us and telling us what's going on with her. But why is she coming to me blue? I asked Khalil because all my kids have gifts like me, and I'm teaching them how to balance their gifts because they're still young, and you have to teach them now or they'll be lost. Because growing up in our time, everything was a hush hush. Whatever goes in here stays in here. You don't talk about that type of stuff. And it was always word of mouth. It wasn't no platforms and none of that type of stuff. Um, so I said, Khalil, have you had any dreams talking to your grandmama or something? He's like, yeah, she came to me a lot lately. I said, okay. I said, well, what'd she say to you? And he was like, she just was like, you the leader now. You the one. You the chosen one. Now, mind you, the grandmother only had 3 grandchildren. Kada, Khalil, no, 4 now. Khalil's little brother and Kada's little sister. Also, it's 4, but it was them two for a long time until So moving forward, I said that was that blue butterfly. That was her. And then I said, okay, the chickens, all of that, it makes sense because something happened in the past in this house where death knocked at my door before, and it was actually the previous owner's son. He got hit in the bus. He transitioned. So I get on social media. Well, no, before I even did that, I called the mother and the father because, we know each other. I sent my condolences, as far as like her missing, not her being transitioned. Did I know she was transitioned already? Yes, I did. But sometimes you can't say certain things on platforms at a certain time frame. And sometimes you can't say stuff outside of a platform because just because I know who I am and I believe doesn't mean that everybody else ready to believe anything. When you lose your baby, you're not trying to think of nothing worse past than bringing that baby home. So it's hope in a situation. But I have to protect myself too and my family because I don't even want the backlash of me knowing who I am, and things like that. But I ain't scary or nothing. I just don't be having time for that. So I waited for a very long time. So now that I know it's Kada reaching out to me, I called on her. I said, what is it that you're trying to show me about your case and what's going on with your case? And I'm so sorry, baby, this happened to you. Communicate with me. And that's when she communicated and she let me know the guy had dreadlocks. I said, well, and people think spirits talk like us, like this communication. No, that's not how they go. They shout out and blurt things. Locks, black, car. You got to put all that together. And sometimes they'll be lenient and give you a little bit more than the norm. So I'm like, all right, he's brown skin with locks. He's short, tall, short. Boom. How many people involved? 3. Okay. That's at the time. Now I'm sitting on the couch and then I see a vision, as I get visions as well. Is a vision of 2 Puerto Rican girls with blue t-shirts on with black eyes, like my hoodie. And I'm like, somebody is really bad in here that's females. It's a jealousy thing. That's how I got to the jealousy part. I said it's a jealousy thing, and it was a confrontation about something. Then that's when the Gabby come up. That's when the girl D come up. All of them above. I said, makes sense now. Then the girl D, sister is Spanish like her. Boom, there you go. The girl Gabby is the best friend. So now everybody's really like, oh my God, like she on it, spot on, this and that. So now, not only is everybody like I'm spot on, but I'm getting a backlash from the other end, from the trollers and stuff like that. You was one at one point.
But I wasn't in your chat. Go ahead.
So, now I get nauseous and sick because when spirits come through me, they come through my body. So now I got to go take a spiritual bath. I got to drink teas and stuff, like, because that's not a good feeling at all. So she's using me as a vessel now. So I said, okay, what is it that you're trying to show me? So I just be so happening to be watching the live news, what the cops said, Ada Lewis School, things of that sort. Instantly, I lied to you not. The daggone, I got bells in my room because it keeps negative spirits away. The daggone thing is like this dream thing I have on my bed. It fell. I said, oh, okay. You in here. What you want to show me, baby girl? Come on, let's go through it. When they said she wasn't there, she said, here. I said, she's still there. I said, they didn't search that whole perimeter. She's there because I feel her. It was 2 other ladies, some lady, Miss Ava, and another young lady that was at Lewis School, and we was all on live just talking about it. And I said, you know what? Something telling me to come up there. Now, before people started following me with this, me and my son, he wasn't letting me leave us alone. He said, when we put your shoes on, we driving to Philly. I said, all right, Khalil, it's pouring down raining. We on the other side of Albury Park, because I grew up around here, and that's my school and my middle school. So I know that school like the back of my hand, and the high school behind it. So I said, come on, let's just go. But we had to leave because he had to be to work. So I came back the next day. That's when we had the interview with the news or whatever, because they was outside the nursing home. But I was going to the nursing home to see how she came out and what was going on. So a lot of people, before they knew, they were saying like, oh, he abducted her from a nursing home, things of that sort. I said, he didn't abduct her. She left with him. She knows him. And that pops out. So now everybody like, oh, we got to go to the aunt page. We got to tune in. So now that everybody's tuning in with me, you got family members that, even if they family members, they not close-knit family members. They're like, oh, she's not the blood aunt and this and that. And I'm like, I don't know what area y'all come from, but I come from the era well, my dad is not with my mom, and I'm 46 years old, and they still call my dad Uncle Gary and stuff like that, and they ain't been around. So I don't know if you thought I needed a clout to say that's my niece, but I clearly stated this is my son's blood first cousin. This is his father's brother's daughter. So they knew what I was saying, but people see things, they just want to have whatever to say. But what I had to tell people is, if you scroll down my page, you'll see who I am outside of this. But she only made my page because it's my son's cousin, moving forward, as that happened, the cops were watching my page. So I became the tip, basically, because now it looks like, as always in the community of Philadelphia, we the people solve the crimes. The justice system in Philadelphia sells us every time as a people. So word of mouth is either through jail first or home, and we out there finding our own babies. You know how many babies are still out there that's missing? Kada just Kada's situation hit the front scene is because she's bringing awareness about other bodies. And that's how we got to the other bodies that I discovered that was out there after her. Okay. I said on live, there's other bodies out there. What do you know? They found other bodies all of a sudden. But before that, you searched the whole perimeter. You searched the whole school. And you said it was nothing there. I go out there. And Miss Ava and them, early that day, we walked over the grave that Kada was on. I mean, the dirt that Kada was on. There was no dirt out there like that. So now we're inside the school. We got brothers out there, sisters out there, kids out there. They going to the dark school. I mean, the school is haunted, dark. And as I'm going live for the community to see how we kind of trying to find her, You hear this faint sound, help. You hear it. Some people did, some people didn't. But if you didn't, it wasn't for you to hear then. So it's just like, okay, she's here. She was given confirmation that she's here. But she wasn't just giving confirmation for herself. I said, she's here and other people is here. Sure enough, later that night, what do you know? They discover a body in the spot we walked over earlier that day. That body was there. And no, it wasn't. It was moved there. It was there in the vicinity, but it was moved there. Then I discovered, me and somebody else, they don't have to be forefront with it, discovered a body bone. It wasn't Kada's though. And I said, it's two bodies out here. Something going on with a case with some Spanish people, whatever. I said the girl's Spanish and the guy's Spanish. It's two bodies out here. I showed a live. Somebody sends me the picture of the live with Kada where they supposedly had found her. You see the spirits in the live. Everybody's seen it. It's vivid. There's nothing that you have to try to figure it out. It's vivid. And so I love spirits sometimes because they back me up and they like, look, if they don't believe, they won't believe now. Let me show this right here. And yeah, so that's how I became to discover the case and people started following me and things like that. So people that didn't believe, they definitely believe now. And for the people that already believed, they was already rocking for me for sure. But I don't do this for clout. I do this because spirit leads me to do this to help people. And this is not what I just do. So this just happened to be closer to me based upon this my son's cousin. And when spirits know that you know and you're a portal for that, they'll come to you faster. You know why Diaz's son came to me? Because the whole entire time, my niece was pregnant by him. I didn't even know my niece was dealing with him because I don't get along with my sister, so I'm not in contact with that like that. But my niece was pregnant by him. You see how that goes? Like how that comes.
Yes.
So when they know, they come there. I have had people that came to me that's not blood related or some type of bloodline coming through. But yeah, it gets like that. And I have people when I'm asleep, they standing over top of me. And I gotta get up. Because once you let spirits you know you fear them, they will get you. They will get you. And when I mean say get you, they can't put hands on you. They'll make you leave your own house. Like them movies, they be like, oh, they chase me out the home. They'll do that, you know.
Right.
But spirits are more fearful of you than you are of them. They listen to you. I'm raised from the old school, so anything I do is old school ways. It ain't none of this new stuff and what's going on these social media platforms. No, I do stuff the real old school way. But that's how Kada came to me, and she was not revealing just about her. She was revealing about the other bodies that was out there and other babies that's out there, you know. But when you're a person like me, you can't gravitate to every spirit because they'll be lined up like a welfare line around the corner. And you simply got to be like, I can't do this. I'm not doing this. I don't owe you nothing. I can't do this for you. But people be wanting to, you know, it's more so like when you cross over to that world, they want to rectify what was in this world. So they try to ask for your help so they can have balance over there in the next life. You understand what I'm saying? Even if they was cruel in this world, they want to feel complete in that world. So when people come to me for tarot card readings or just mediumship with, you know, they want me to touch base with their loved ones. I don't ask people nothing. I tell them. And I always tell people, whether you go to me or not, when you go to any mediumship or any type of tarot card reader, anything on this level, they should never have to ask you nothing about you. They should already know. They might need bits and pieces, right, but they should tell you the main forefront of who you are. And so it gets heavy, you know, and this Kada case has been going on for so long. Now I start seeing people trolling the case, and I'm seeing I'm all over platforms. And I said, I'm going back to normal because I did my duty. I did my purpose. I did what I was supposed to do. Let's go back to the normal Bree, the normal two-headed witch doctor. Let's go back to her and what she do. Yeah. And that's where I was at with it. Yeah. But Diaz, whose son, she was heavy with it. Like, you know, she had her team watching from live because she lives in Georgia now. So it was a lot of the community work. And so everybody keep giving me the props. And I'm like, no, this was a team effort thing. So whether I have visions or not, and these people got out, left work, came out their houses, out they comfortable situations and went hunting with me, you know, whether they was on live, whatever they did. So, you know, I feel like that was the first time I seen our people come together and not trying to hurt each other and do something that we needed done, So yeah, so that's basically what that is.
Can you tell us everything that happened?
With Kata's situation?
Yes. First, let's start with the suspect.
Okay. So I don't have every piece together, but in the beginning, I had blockage with this case. Maybe because my feelings was involved or whatever the case is. And she only wanted me to know that, yes, she's transitioned or whatever. But it was another medium that came on Diaz and she kind of like removed the blockage. And I said, I got to stop treating this case personal and treat it like a regular case, And things started coming out more. Like I kept saying to people, I said, yeah, she was never kidnapped. She knew him. They were cool. Now, I don't want to say things on here because people still are,
Right, I got you.
tight, But I will say this, and this is what I'm going to say for everybody. And beautiful girl, we'll say that. But we have to understand when people transition, we paint the light of the good. We never want to see the real. That makes sense?
Yes, I'm with you. I'm with you.
Okay.
Now,
Okay.
let me just add on, and you correct me if I'm there or you push me back. Maybe her and the hood pharmacist was having a conversation. Maybe the boyfriend overheard this conversation, and then the boyfriend. Now, this is when you come in. Come on.
So, us women sometimes. We do what we do, what we want to do, what we want to do. This person might be pick me up and just drop me off. This might be the person I like. This might be the person I just get my, medicine from, blah, blah, blah. But I'm going to keep this person edged on because I get the free such and such or the above. And that's how we going to go. But, some people tweaked up in the head. So it makes them go above and beyond. So now we as women, we slick with it, and damn, this person is all in their feelings and they see this person with this person the same day and da 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 da. But it's not only just that, it's deeper than that. Because now that's what you get on the low. And I was team you the whole time. Don't say nothing because I've been plotting and we did some things together in the past. But I don't want to do this time. You know what I'm saying? I'm chill off of this for real. But everybody need $1, We got to talk about things that don't want to be talked about. You know what I'm saying? We found an access cards outside in the when we find a mace and we find an access card, which is a food stamp card. You know what I mean? We working at nursing homes that don't have cameras. You understand what I'm saying? We trying to make it. So I'm really, like I said, I'm going read between the lines. This that Philly
I'm
talk.
right there.
So
I'm with
you know what I'm saying? So a lot of people don't understand that Philly talk. So I'm going to keep saying what I say because I know what I see. But pay attention to the person she was with earlier that day.
Are we speaking about? Are we speaking about my man that went to Top Golf? Now, let me slide in for a second. Appreciate this super sticker, Sherry. Now, my man says that the text messages and the phone calls didn't go through. But it comes back that the text messages and phone calls did go through. Now, help me understand the whole chicken demonstration that he was speaking on. Help me understand that.
So, the chicken demonstration. Earlier that day, after that little rendezvous, whatever the case may be, we talking about a husky guy. We talking about a 6-piece wing meal. We talking about things like that. My baby say, hey, you got to eat. You ain't been eating. I left you the drums. I ate the flats. So if it's a 6-piece wing, how many drums is it? 3. You should wolf that down in one bite. You feel me? As a man anyway. I'm not hungry. You ain't eat all day. Spirit came to me right then and there. I said his stomach was turning. He knew it was going down. Then, when I first found out that that was the case, I asked her mom. I said, send me. She was like, I'm gonna send you something. I said, what he look like? She was like, we don't trust this either. She sends me the picture that I have that's not on social media any longer, by the way. He's sitting on a bench in the bushes and the trees in the park. And I'm like, send it back to her. I said, you don't see this? So she like, what? And I know she probably clouded because her baby, you know, all of the above. And I'm like, look where he's at. So Sunset put two and two together, right? Because I ain't been up Aubrey and King in so long. I got to remember how we used to cut school and how we used to go through them back things back then. So I said to somebody that might remember, I'm like, what is bench at? And she like, that's right there behind King. I said, I thought so. Then I look at the picture and the caption and the location and say hell. Why the fuck would you put hell as your location? Not only is it saying hell, but when you go on the full page, it's nothing but transition people up there. You don't have nothing on there but transition people. Then I'll go through the highlights. Spirit. That's spirit. I'm talking too much. Um, you only have him in the highlights. Let me grab this charger too. You only have the highlights of transition people, but you never had Kada up on your page before that. Now the video you took of you sitting on the bench, that was in June. You met her in September. Cool. Let's click on this other stuff that we got on Buddy. He's a landscaper. So when we find boots and contract bags and things like that, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Contractor bags and things like that, we absolutely know that's somebody that know what they doing. You couldn't smell her because it's covered up. Because you know why? Where these people look for her at, she's not there because she wasn't there earlier that day, as I explained when we were out there and we walked over there. She's by that bench. But that simply lets you know that while we out there searching for her, somebody's watching us.
Yep.
Now, Keon can't move nobody by himself. I don't care if Kada was petite or not. Nobody can move a dead body by themselves that little, that short. You need help. Whether people will admit to it or not, because we have cases where in Philadelphia that get solved but don't get solved. You understand what I'm saying? So we going forever play expect a gadget on this case until it gets resolved how we feel comfortable fits. Now, the authorities continue to do their part? I don't know. Do they ever do their part? I don't know. But basically, that's where we at with it now. You know, and here's the kicker of that. So I'll give you some brief history. The job from Ada Lewis to Kada school is 7 minutes. Kada was transitioning in 10 minutes, so you know what that means. She was transitioning on her way to the school. More so, what I seen in spirit was showing me that the reason why they found the is because she was fighting, and that's why he shot her in the head. But that was never their intent to go that way. She was supposed to play along with the game for a minute, you know. But he not gonna keep letting her crash out on him. That just wasn't gonna happen. Now, the boyfriend, he lives on the opposite side where King. So King and Ada Lewis face each other's backs. He lives on that side, which is literally 4 minutes away from Kata's job. What else people don't understand and don't know is simply that Keon used to live up the way, and he only lived 5 minutes away around the corner from the boyfriend. Now, I'm gonna leave that there. I'm just gonna leave that there.
All right. All right. What is the come kidnap me or kidnap me again? Help
Now,
me. Come on.
remember when I said we always want to paint a pic what we see because they no longer are in flesh. Y'all ain't dumb though.
Mm-mm, mm-mm,
Y'all ain't dumb by a far chance, you know?
mm-mm.
And I state my words this way because you got to pick up what I'm saying, and
I'm
that's it.
with you. I'm with you.
So, mm-mm. You talking about access cards. You talking about nursing homes. You follow me?
I'm with you.
And at first,
With,
people was like, she don't know him. He did that. I'm like, Then I became a bad person. You mean? Why would you say that, innocent girl? Da da da. And then what come out? She knew him, right?
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Let's switch lanes to a little more PG and a little more we can go straight into.
Yeah.
Talk to me about the attorney of Keon, Shaka Johnson. Talk to me about Shaka
Let's
Johnson.
talk about Shaka. Now, a lot of people are upset with Shaka based upon, he taking a case or whatever they may be. We all are. You know what I mean? Because this is something you shouldn't take a case on. But then spirit comes to me because see, one thing about spirit, when they show me things, they don't just come in one day. They come over time. You know what I mean? So now it comes in a part where before the text messages came out and I say what I say, like she knew him and things like that. Now I say to on social media as well, I say, this got something to do with ransom. This got something to do with money. And I can't put that together. What part of that has to do with money? But for sure, she in the mix of that part of that money situation. But what I pick up, and I could be wrong, that's why I haven't spoke on it, because the spirit didn't show me nothing past that. And one thing too for certain, I ain't here I don't make shit up. If it ain't what it's resonating or if the spirit don't show me, I don't talk about it. But off on that level, on a physical level, I think Kada knew something more from the past that she ain't moved forward with. And it's time, yeah, I'm saying. Plus, I believe the master of this whole situation is the golf boy.
Mm.
I just don't believe he hands on with it like that. I feel like them two had something set up. What I can't pinpoint on that part, I don't speak on that part. I just sit and observe everybody talk about it and I watch because she didn't bring me nothing else. Now, what I did ask her was, I said, Kada, can you show me? Was it Keon? Yes. Okay, cool. I said, Kada, was it more than one person? Yes. Okay, cool. I said, was the boyfriend? No comment. That's all I got. Blank. You understand? So I didn't take that as yes. I didn't take that as a no. I just take it as a let me pay attention. That's what I took it as. Um, Shaka knows just as much as I know,
Mm.
but on a different level. You understand? You
Mm.
talk about an attorney that got loops and holes, that can pull shit in, that know cops, that got handshake relationships, knows the family, all types of stuff. You think that man ain't gonna take this case? Cause he know for sure that what everybody's out here trying to conjure up or think they know, he already know. So
Already
he's
know.
not going to turn this case down. It ain't just about getting the case because it makes him look good and his reputation. It's simply because I know for a fact this a good ass case that everybody think that this man gonna get life and he's not going to get life. It's not. Y'all watch how this play out, and we gonna
So,
revisit the conversation after that. That's why
so,
Shock is taking this case.
so you think Keon is going to beat it, or you just think it's going to be
No,
a lesser charge?
yeah, lesser charge. He's going to get a comfortable sentence for sure. It's not going to know he's not getting out at all. Now they don't have nothing on him to say that he murdered her. If y'all read
Right,
the case,
right, right,
don't have
right.
nothing on there to say he murdered her. But he's definitely going to jail. But it's not going to be what everybody think it is because it's not just Keon involved. You have multiple people involved. When I said it was a white van, what do you see in the video? You find a gray car. What do you see near it? A white van. I kept saying a truck. And even then on that part, you see the truck riding past Ada Lewis the day that she went I'm seeing these visions. The two girls. It was the D girl and her sister. That's who that was when I see the Spanish girl. The Gabby girl, who, told him where all the and the other girl, the TikTok girl, I forgot her name. I'm sorry with an M. Madeline or something. They they both was on the same type time. Now Gabby, she knows everything. She ain't telling nobody nothing. That's her right hand 50 grand for life. The girl Madeline, she like Keon, and you gotta understand, like, these kids today, they be in more shit than we have ever been in. And they don't do things how we used to do. So they're not gonna say things a certain way. But the overall, that's why Shaka, and yes, it's more than just two people involved. It's more than just the girls talking. It's hands on with this situation. Again, you're not going to find out the real truth because we still want to be stuck in that dark of that poor sweet girl. Yeah, it's not a reason that she should be transitioned at all. Hell no.
Right.
I love her like a
Right.
niece. It's
Right.
not a reason that any of that should be. I want people to wake up though and treat this as if she was here and flesh still walking around. You
Right.
understand? We as people do this a lot. Even, when we go to funerals and stuff, what's in the obituary?
All this good stuff. Could have been stick up Jay of the neighborhood. Stick up Jay loved everybody. Stick up Jay wouldn't hurt a fly.
And what the stick up Jay do the day before?
Stick up Jay robbed Lord Tony of all his life savings that he was saving up to once he graduate, go on and open up his own business.
And that's why we can't find the real answers. We're too busy focused on everything everybody else did in this situation. If you put the person, and I love my niece, and I'm not speaking ill on her because people like to turn your words up. I'm simply saying, when you're going to do stuff like this, you have to go past go. You can't be stuck in the lane that's going to have you stuck. Even when I knew she was transitioning, the cousin, I don't know what cousin this is, but she said she the cousin. I had to check her a few times because she's, taking my words and one thing I don't play that. So she stated, like you said, that she transitioned. I said, I never said she transitioned. I said she's transitioning. I said she's in the realm between the two, this world and that world. That was at the time when she probably still had a chance when they said they didn't know where she was at. Then they could have probably, did what they were supposed to do. However, at the end of the day, when you have people that want to be like, oh, I got hope, I got hope, I got hope. I'm not that type of mom. Diaz is not that type of mom. Diaz got her ass out there in the woods. And I'm not blaming the mother. Again, some people just different. And started searching for her son with her tears, her hurt, her pain, and everything. But you know what Diaz also said? I know my son wasn't no innocent person. I know my son did shit. He did drills. He did all of that. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So again, we we don't want to see pictures in certain lights. So when they say, why would you say she transitioned? Now we can talk about it because it's over with. If you think this baby that goes home and has a routine on a consistent basis, that just say, hey, I'm going to turn my phone off for a week, no location, no nothing, and think this is common sense shit right here, and just don't be turned up for nothing. Are you kidding me? So now when I say something, oh my gosh, she's going to return home. Say what? I just told y'all what happened. Y'all should have known what happened. But here's the thing, y'all mad at me, right? And that's what everybody's stating it. Those authorities told y'all that they searched the whole perimeter of the school. If I simply didn't go back out there and resonate with her, y'all still be crying. There'd be no funeral Saturday.
Facts.
You understand? So please leave me the fuck alone. That's how I feel. Because I
That's
did you a big
facts.
one. I did you a big one.
Facts.
And I could have treated this like any other case, but it was so sensitive because seeing my son cry the way he cries, because mind you, the only two people on that side that he had that was close to him, because he doesn't have a relationship with his father, and that's another topic, is the grandmother who transitioned. And we wasn't allowed to go to that funeral because the dad is bitter. And that's he called her mom outside of me. And now his cousin, who's like his sister. And they had a report up to this moment. I can tell you and show you things that's in my son's text messages between Kada and him, but I won't do that.
Right.
You understand? And it ain't no shit that you would be like, well, damn. You know what I mean? And I'm talking about family dynamic stuff. Okay. So we always want to paint the picture what we want to paint the picture as. And this is why we can't go past go with this case. Because we're not involving the person that is supposed to be in the case. Y'all done blocked it out. Y'all want to just focus on who did what. To get to the bottom of things, you have to put everything in perspective.
Everything gotta
Everything.
everything gotta be put out on the table.
I can't even hear it because they keep calling me because my phone be popping.
Wow.
Hold on. Out, come back in. I hate when they do this. And it's on Do Not Disturb, by the way.
Can you hear me?
1 second.
Okay.
Sheesh.
And while I wait for Bree to come back up, we see this all the time. We see it all the time where young ladies, they get caught up. Young ladies will be on the right side of the track. Young ladies will be in school, college, job, successful. I mean, really got it going on. You know, they'll be on the right side. But then one dab on the left side of the track, they get caught up because they'll be thinking certain things is cute. They'll be thinking, having 2 or 3 different men, being on the phone with one man while the other man is around. They'll be thinking that type stuff is cute. Mm-hmm. But Bree, just like I know, it's far from cute. That's going to get you caught up. And a lot of cases, it's going to get you caught up where as though you'll lose your life. And I have to keep stressing it. If you are a good girl, stay a good girl. Stay your ass on the right side of the tracks. Because you bring your ass on the left side of the tracks, this is not what you want. Come on then, Bree.
But see, I apologize, y'all, because my phone nonstop, and I'm on Do Not Disturb, so that goes to show you how I'm getting another phone. I gotta get another phone. I have to, because the phone that I use for my business phone is not working right now. I got another phone. Okay, so basically, when the boy from the golf, the boyfriend, and he states he was never her boyfriend, by the way, just to let y'all know that's not my girlfriend. But you putting all over your page like you're so sad. I miss her. This is in the back. The person that was dealing with her, he's sick. He don't even want to be. He don't even be talked about. That's somebody that really knew her. Not only do you do that, but you speak on the news and say she's easygoing. What do you mean by that? That she's easygoing? Like why would you say such a thing about somebody that you endeared so much? And then here's the thing. Kada is a free spirit. I'm not afraid to say what it is. Shit, fuck it. She is a free spirit. You know what I mean? And when you have girls that are not street smarts versus book smarts, they don't really know what they be getting into when they be dealing with these hood type people. You know what I mean? So as much as she thinks she's smart, they on a whole different vibe and a whole different level. You understand what I'm saying? And that's a lot of tied up in that with that as well. Not just because he her medicine, her distributor, none of that. Come on, like that's nothing. But simplify is that you want to be like, I don't know if y'all remember the movie ATL. You the new. You're new. Like, So and that's where that comes in at. And not to mention, like, it's play detective with yourself. Like, you go on highlights and you seeing people highlights. I know men that love women. And I know men that are obsessed with women. So when I see in highlights, you watching this girl in the market getting oranges and watching her, and she look up, don't even know you're courting her. That's obsession. That's something you weird out. That's some weird out stuff to me. But we're not gonna look at that. People's not gonna get that, and the cops is not gonna go any further into that. They already saw that the case is resolved after they have said they done searched the whole perimeter. I done drew on them. You know what I mean? So I simply said, you know what? Once I start seeing people troll me, and I had a lot of people backing me, and they still do. Excuse me, but people are like, oh, they owe you an apology. Don't nobody owe me nothing. I did that because Spirit told me to do that. I did that for the strength of my son. I don't need no round of applause or nothing like that. I simply am a person about respect. That's it. Because I did nothing out of the ordinary. I even stated in the beginning I would not post things due to the mother and father. But as time went on, of course I'm going to say things. Of course I am, because it's due. Because then you know what you would have been still doing? Sitting on that couch crying, getting phone calls, "Are you okay?" And laying in the bed in the dark. Let me help you faster to get your baby.
Right.
Not the hope. Not that I pray she's alive. Let me just bring you to reality a little bit. Because I think now I got to stamp my fucking feet. And that's what happened. So here you are. And whether you're mad at me or not, here's the thing about this. I don't care if you don't give me an apology. I don't care if you recognize what I did. You know what I care about? That now you can feel comfortable to know that you can mourn your child a certain way. That's what I cared about. Now that she's free to go into the next room because she knows I know, and she knows I know what did, because she was stagnant and stuck. And that's how that went. And she's still around. But, you know, I did my part. My part is not to go down the lane with TikTok people who talk about where the case is at and who did what. I did my part.
Right.
Now I have to help other people now. And so that's why I moved on the way I did from this case. Now, when people like you do interviews, it's fine, it's sure. But I'm simply not flooding my page with this any longer. It's not fair to everybody else, for the people that called outside of social media. I drive 15, I just drove 15 hours to Mississippi, literally, because somebody had a very bad hex on them. I'm talking about 3-car garage, 6-bedroom house, lost it all in a month. Hospitalized, 2 transplants. Coming to find out it was a lady that did it because she was dealing with her husband. Cool. They said they don't trust nobody. Now, I don't know. I get this 1,000 times. Like, I could just tell you real, like, versus everybody else. And they called on me, and they found me on TikTok. Got down there immediately. I put it on. I interviewed them, and I put it on social media, and they speak their testimony, because I don't like speaking for myself. But see, that's what I do. I can't stay still, because that's not my mission. So the mission at this point is, I did my part with how I found her. I did my part is what she told me to do. I'm even giving y'all jewels to go further to do y'all investigation. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And a lot of people that's not from Philadelphia, even if it's not the tri-state, you had the people down south, they still stuck in the beginning part from the school to this. Now, I just told y'all the school is 7 minutes from the job. And the boyfriend is on the other side, which he only 4 minutes from the job. His school, he's on the side of Martin Luther King High School. Behind Martin Luther King High School is that bitch. The next part over is where her body was found in the dirt. See what I'm saying? You see what I'm going with this?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Between them both, that's 10 minutes. 10 minutes.
Now, many people that's watching in the chat, and I know on the replay gang, they want to follow you. They want your services. Are you available for anybody to follow you? Or would you like for
I
to
mean,
tell how they can follow you?
everybody can follow me. On Instagram, I'm BREE way underscore number 5. So Bree way underscore number 5 is on Instagram. And on TikTok, I'm spiritual Bree, BREE number 5. There's no underscore with it. And that's how
And
y'all
what,
find me.
and what I'll do is I'll put all of her social media handles on the replay gang in the comments section. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So make sure y'all check the comment section. Now,
Remember what I told y'all. Stop excluding the most important, valuable asset of this whole case. Stop doing that. And this is why people can't find out, because we are in denial with who we are as a people. Like, so.
can I say something to you, Bree?
Mm-hmm.
I ain't feeling you right now, and you know why I ain't feeling you. I'm gonna tell you why I ain't feeling you, Bree. You really helped me really understand.
Mm-hmm.
And now, because like I said, at first, I was like, man, I don't believe in that shit. Man, people be trying to talk to me. I was like, man, I don't want to hear that shit. Man, get the hell away from me. And then when I started covering cases, and then I started to hear about it, and I would backtrack, and I was like, well, they were spot on, and a part of me still would be like, But I would always be like, well, they were spot on. But now after your breakdown, I'm convinced. I'm really convinced. Um,
So you scared of this shank, right? So let me ask you a question. So when you don't know with proof in your face of something that you know personally that happened with you in a situation, no matter what situation, but somebody comes and tell you, no, that ain't true, but you confident, you like, no, this is what happened. That's not intuition. That's your spirit that's
yeah.
telling you that. That's your
and,
guidance. That you have premonitions.
and I'm gonna tell you what helped win me over when you said, Shank, you know who you are. You
Mm-hmm.
know what you're capable of. I'm a
Mm-hmm.
content creator. And I get into it all the time over here. I be calling people funky ass hoes. Because hey Bree, I know what I'm talking about.
Right.
But they
Right.
just insist on, nah, Shank, or they hit me with but or maybe. So I get where you coming from.
Mm-hmm.
I get it.
There's so many of me out there, but they don't like the platforms. Like the real ones that I know, they won't do social media. I'm more like I'm spoken up because I have to be now. My platform is nothing but to help our people. My platform is
Right.
not to gain likes or none of that. I don't need
Right.
a platform on social media. I do this for real. I do this to help people see who they are. Like just a little jewel drop. Before there was religion, there were us. It was spirituality.
Yeah.
The YT people didn't come on this planet to the 1600s.
Yeah. That's
When we
facts.
came across those waters, they put that book and said, this your new book.
That's
And they
facts.
used that book to they knowledge of what they wanted. We was never supposed to take that book and read it how they wanted it. We were
That's facts.
cunning. So we would use the book of Psalms, which is the book of rituals,
Mm,
the power of the book of Psalms.
mm,
And we would do our spiritual activities through that in that chapel on that plantation. But as
mm.
time went on, our tongues were sealed to not talk about what we did. It was sacred. So it got washed away. So now we worship Jesus in that light, and now we're the demons.
That's facts. Cause when we do it, well, when y'all do it, it's bad, it's evil. But Harry Potter and who else? When they
Oh,
would,
yeah, them people, them Wiccans, the ones that ride
yeah.
broomsticks and stuff like that. What?
Now I did, check out your work, and your YouTube work is interesting because your platform and the content that you was doing, uh do you still do that kind of content, or will you be going back to that kind of content?
Yes, I speak. My podcast is about real talk, so it's actually about actual real live events that happen with people livelihoods, including myself. But I gave it a break because summertime everybody like to turn up, but they keep waiting for me. So I'm more
Yeah.
of a person that's spontaneous. I like to pop out with stuff. So
Yeah.
it's going to be this winter. We going back. This time I'm going on my platform. I'm going in. You
You
understand?
going in.
When they ask about this Kada case, oh baby, it's going it's
Well,
going
why
down.
you well why you could go in on your platform, but you can't go in on my platform?
It won't be on that platform of the matters of what happened with the case, but it's going to be on the platform of fuck everybody. It's going to be on
Yeah.
that level, and I'm naming names and I'm dropping all names,
Uh
and
oh.
I'm dropping names. I'm dropping how we got to this. I'm dropping how Kate relationship was more mommies and daddies. I'm dropping everything personal. That's what it's about. So that is a different light from actually what's going on with the case. And how did you feel, Bree, with such and such and such? And I feel like they all can suck my dick because at the end of the day, that's how I get, you know. And
Right.
that's not the spiritual part of me. And I need people to stop putting me in these sections, in these boxes. Oh,
Right.
she's a two-headed doctor. Oh, she's a root worker. How can she act into? I'm human.
Right. There you
That is
go.
a gift I have.
There you
That's
go.
not. I'm not a chick. I
There
like
you
to
go.
drink my little shot to lick at my wine in the house. I like to sit and chill at home and talk my shit with my peoples.
There you
I
go.
am not a person that's walking on water. I just have
There you
gifts to
go.
do things that I'm supposed to do. Did your grandmommy and daddy do that? Or did
There
they
you go.
smoke cigars and cigarettes and drink their wine too?
There you go. I went through
No.
the same thing when I went to church. Church people not supposed to act like that. When I went to the mosque, Muslim people, look, they couldn't wait to catch me eating a pork chop sandwich, or you know what I mean. My homeboys, they might come in here. My homeboys will roast the hell out of me if they caught me doing something contrary to what Muslims supposed to do. But
It
like
get
you,
crazy.
yeah,
It
but
get
like you said,
crazy.
we human. We
Yes.
human.
So you mad because I'm doing what I do, and I my gifts don't have nothing to do with my lifestyle, like who I am, and I'm chill for real. Just don't pull me out the box. Like I'm really a chill person. I love people. Like I love people. I love people hard, but like I'm also a loner. I know how to chill by myself. I know how to be alone, like at the same time. But I'm just not simply a person. I'm a Virgo. I'm not simply a person that you think you're going to take advantage because everybody's like, oh my God, you stand and talk to all of this, but I got a back of an ox. Like, I'm not worried about what. Like, first of all, I put people in jars. So if I wanted to do something, I would
Hey,
have to be
yes.
physical.
Hey, that's another thing. When I heard, I said to myself, this me talking to myself. Now, Shank Rock. Now, your funky ass want to interview her, and she talk about putting people in jars.
It gets busy. And that's
Yeah.
light work for real. That's light work. There ain't nothing serious that I get into. Like I teach classes, I teach people how to do spirituality, how to get back in tune with themselves. I go back in the times of the stuff that you don't get talked, they're gonna get talked about, like how you became across the waters, what we used to get freed, all of that stuff. I'm talking in our ancestral oppression days, because all this stuff goes back then and back more. And yeah, so people starting to find out who they are, and especially with the person that's in the office, it makes you want to be knowing. I'm teaching my people like, when are you going to get skill tactic? When are you going to realize that there's going to be a civil war? When are you going to realize that that food that you ain't going to get no more in those markets? Why don't you grow those rubbiches outside? Take that skin of the potato, plant that onion, and now you got you some crops right out the back of your home because you're gonna need it. Mason jar you some shit up because you're gonna need it. You know? So I think we forget who we are. You don't have no lights, you better use a candle. You understand? We don't remember it. And I feel like our ancestors do that to us a little bit because we forgot who we are so much. We're needy. We're needy people. And one thing about our color and our kind, we don't like to read and we don't like to educate ourselves. I had so many people on my page, oh, you're wrong for this. Get off my page. And I'm gonna need you to go all the way back down and realize who I am. And once you find out who I am, you're gonna, so many people block me because they got scared after they realized who I was. Because that's what we do. We take from what we want to take from and don't go into reading about everything from the beginning. That's what we do as a people. And they said in those times, if they knew who they were, we'll be in a world of trouble. That's why they took the books from us. So that's what goes on. I had somebody like you, by the way. I ain't gonna say his name. I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. Hopefully he took it down. It's another a streamer. He got a nice following as well on YouTube. And he started talking about my first son case and he added it with Kada's situation. But he put my son case like the aunt got something, the aunt got something to do with it, but her son is a murderer. He was 18 going on 19 and he killed this 16-year-old boy, this and that. Should have did that. Because never once did you go deep in that and see that I gave back. And I started an organization called The Other Side. My son admitted to what he did. And it was 50 kids. He was fighting Delhi. Now, mind you, the person that he did it to was not right what he did. But this person was terrorizing neighborhoods with gangs and all types of stuff. But I simply found him, gave him a call. This is something that you would like to say that you're inaccurate about. And he was like, well, I shut his ass down. My son was never 18 going on 19. He just turned 18 and Messiah was going on 17. And my son stated that it was a useless matter. He could have did better what happened. And he, everything went down there, the organization, me trying to get other, because what happens is with moms like us, we get the blame for what our kids do.
Right.
Don't realize that we structure homes too. We structure homes. We do right by our kids. Now, the father figures that's not in the picture can be a big major part of why the sons feel like they got to be the father, the son, etc. But again, you cannot say that I didn't do my part in teaching what I said. That's like a preacher kid. That's like a cop kid. I'm a cop kid. My dad is a retired homicide detective over 40 something years, And it was like, I went to him about it. He was like, I don't want to hear that shit. Like, my dad was like, he retired, leave that where that's at. I ain't got time for that. But yeah. So hopefully, Shank, you start.
Now,
Go ahead.
now I'm gonna get on you. I'm gonna get on all of y'all. Look what you done got started over here on my chat. Look,
What
here
they
go
say,
Honey
Shank?
5K. Honey 5K. I only put people in jars when they need to learn their lesson. Hey, look, we ain't gonna do all that putting folks in jars now. Hey, Bree, I know I shouldn't have brought your ass up on my platform, Bree. Bree done
Yeah,
turned my
y'all.
platform out.
That's how you gotta do them people. My
Yeah.
grandmother, when she used to do people dirty, she taught me something a long time ago when I was little. And she always was humming around the house and stuff. I'm like, Mom, what you, because I call my grandma Mom. I'm like, Mom, what you about to do? She like, I want you to sit at this table and pay attention. And I'm like, well, what's that? And she'll show me, she's like, you don't speak on this. And I would learn that. And then one day I remember my uncle had a hex on him because the girl poisoned, she put a hex on him through her food. And somebody called her phone. She was like, bring Lenny here now. And that's when we had landlines. She the ones with the numbers that spin like this. And she was like, bring Lily here. And she was like, going on upstairs, Bree. And I was like, well, I can't watch. She's like, going on upstairs. I was upstairs till like 9 o'clock at night. I swear to God I was. And then she's like, Breezy. That's how her voice used to be. She's like, come on down. And I'd be like, he'd be like, hey, baby. I'd be like, well, there wasn't that nigga just slumped over in my own head at the time as a kid. And I said, Mom, what you do? She was like, I'm going to teach you when you get older. She said, but let me tell you something. Don't never tell nobody what you do. You just do it.
That's
Now,
facts.
when I tell people I put them in jars, I just be scaring them. You ain't going to know what I'm going to do to you and how I'm going to do it to you. I may not do a jar. I might do something deeper. You don't know what I'm going to do. See, I'm not afraid of the dark. I goes out there in them graveyards at 3, 4 in the morning. I'll goes in them woods and play with them spirit woods. So I'm a different level. So I'm a kind-hearted person up. But once you play with me, you going to get it. But
Just don't cross you, right, Bree?
it's don't
Just don't.
cross me. And I ain't talking about no dumb man shit. I'm talking about
Yeah.
do some crazy stuff. Like now the ones that's trolling me and doing defamation and characteristic and really trying to put me out there in that light, oh, they getting this. They getting this.
Now I'm gonna go political before I let you get up out of here. See, you got Alicia. Alicia hollering about, can I use a pickle jar? Don't answer that question.
Yes.
Don't answer. I said don't answer that question, Bree. Y'all gonna go here with all this foolishness now.
They do
All
it in
right,
the Bible. Jake, it's in the Bibles. It's all
you
in the
did
Bibles.
you done turned my platform out, Bree.
You
You
got a
done
beautiful
turned my
platform.
platform. You
And
done
I
turned my
appreciate
platform.
you for having me up here too. You got a
No,
beautiful platform though.
yeah, but you blessed it. You really did. I'm so glad that you did. We had fun over here, but you
Yeah.
blessed it. You dropped a lot of jewels. You convinced me. Um, I'm just so glad that you came up here, and I'm glad that you were able to help in this investigation. You were spot on. I gotta go political
Okay.
with Trump in office. You got the floor. Tell us
Mm,
what you see. Tell us
mm,
what we need to do. You got the floor, Bree.
mm. Let me tell y'all something. I'm gonna say this in cool, but y'all know what I'm talking about. Everybody know what I'm talking about when I say this. If you don't have a piece of iron, IRON in your home, you need to get some. If you don't have things that you're used to having, or should I say the things that you're used to having, I'm gonna need you to get uncomfortable with having them. I'm gonna need you to go to those stores and rack up on all types of waters. $5 waters. I don't know why waters is $5 a case, but they are. Rack up on the waters. I need you to start taking and learning how to plant your own fruits and vegetables. I said what I said when I said mason jars. This is going to get chaotic before it gets better. That's what I need y'all to know. Everybody's like, oh, he all about the dollar. No, he about the dollar and he about the nigga. You understand what I'm saying? Anything that got something to do with us, he's taking it back to those days. He's trying to take it back to the 1800s. They ain't gonna go back that far,
Right.
but he's trying to take it back to those times. Not just about this, it's about that as well. If you ain't opening your eyes and saying he taking everything when it comes to Black history and things like that, it ain't about you no more. You know how they say history repeats itself? History truly repeats itself. We're going to be in the Civil War. We're going to have a Civil War. We're going to have one. Um, it is going to get better, but before it get better, it's going to get worse.
Do you think they'll try to enslave us again?
They can't. They only could do. They can't. They're going to try to, but they cannot. See, this is what we have to understand. I'm going to say this, and this, you might have to blurt this out when you put this up. We have no G. We don't have a G. You know what I'm talking about? The GOV dot. We don't have that. That don't exist right now. We just think it exists. That's why it was so easy to shut down. You notice that?
Mm-hmm.
There's nobody there. There hasn't been nobody there for a while now. That's like we're being raised into that to learn that. because you do know that they had kids with each other so they could keep that nation a big nation, right? So
Facts.
that set a generation right there don't want to be bothered with it. They got their own lane. They want to do their own thing. That's over with. So just to keep y'all guessing and to keep people scared, it still exists. But again, if we read and we understand, we don't have to follow shit because this is our land.
That's facts.
We don't owe nothing. Why are we paying electricity? I don't know. Why are we paying again? You don't even have to pay electricity. Them solar panels that's out there that they putting out all themselves, they just not telling y'all this shit.
That's facts. That's
But they
facts.
know we ain't going to do past go. We only going to do the. Look at our people. They hear steams going off. They going ballistic right now. They don't even know what to do. They don't even know where to start at. Because they've been sitting and waiting for number 9 and number 8 to come out for so much, so long that that's all they know. You know? My statement to all my spirit babies, and like I tell everybody, uncomfortable is comfortable. Get uncomfortable. Stop waiting and
Mm.
depending. You have to get uncomfortable. You have to know how to work around in the house in the dark with a lamp or a lantern. You have to know how to know that I don't have no bread. Okay, well, what your ass better do is go make something else that you can make out of hand with some dough. That's what you better do. You got to get skill tactic. It's that time. The veil is thin. Open your eyes. Yeah, times are going to get worse before they get better politically. And people like, why y'all ain't do nothing to him yet? You think them people don't have forces and stuff either? I can't be
Mm.
the only one trying to do something if everybody don't come join with me to do something over it. This is a force he has over him because he would have been out of here.
That's deep. That's deep. And I'm so glad that you touched off on it because I felt like that with
Mm-hmm.
the all of the things. Why hasn't we used, or those that have that gift and have that power, why haven't you all used that to just say get us out of bondage? But as you said, they got power, they
He's
got
using
forces. Go ahead.
he's using our people. He's using our people to do that stuff. It's money. You understand? It's money. He's using our people to do things like that. Not just his people, but our
Right.
people too. Because you got to understand,
Mm.
our people. Okay, for an example, the PPP. I've never seen so many black people in the mall in my life. But ain't nobody go buy a house. Ain't nobody go get a piece of property, a piece of land. Ain't nobody do none of that shit. And all that Louis Vuitton and all that Gucci and all them labels that you spend $2,000 to $3,000, $5,000 on, you don't own shit now. Now you got some old ugly ass sneakers that's torn up because you keep wearing them and an old
Mm.
ass pocketbook with nothing to put in it. He knew we was
Wow.
going to do that. He knew we was going to tear that shit up, and he let us,
And we did it.
and we did it,
And we did it.
and we did it.
And didn't care. Didn't worry about the repercussions. Just, I don't care.
They use us like lab rats. Did you see that before? I don't want to take your platform over because I know you got
No,
something.
go ahead. This is what we talk about over here. Go ahead.
Did you see that time where they took the lab rats and they had a maze and they took and labeled us like this is this community, that's that community. So they put the poor with the poor
Mm-hmm.
and they put the rich with the rich and they put the black with the black and the white with the whites. So what they did was they kept a clean environment on one side of the maze for the lab rats, kept feeding them, clothing them, doing all the same. They gave the other ones that was the poor, they was feeding them, but they was giving them bits and pieces. It was
Wow.
somewhat clean, things like that. And then after that, over time, they start taking away from the poor more and start
Wow.
making them more trashy and dirty, like mean as though with the feces and stuff was laying around, they wasn't cleaning it up and stuff like that. And over there on the other side, they would give them more. You understand? So what you think started happening with the ones that was poor?
They started.
No, they started killing each other. They started eating each other. They started fucking each other. They
Wow.
started dying. They started trying to get like take advantage of. They was teaming up on each other. Yeah, that's what they started. Because rats are smart. They're
Right,
very
right,
intelligent.
right.
And then you had the clean rats. What did they do? They just mosey on out the maze. They found their way. We're puppets,
That's
and we
fact.
don't understand that we're puppets. But yet we take the social media platforms, and when we go on these social media platforms, they are to train your mind to believe that it's realistic things and to do these things. I simply don't say certain things because I have people that watch me on a higher level, because I don't want to be the one that come up missing somewhere. So I try to say things to my people so they could get it without saying it. And then some
Right.
just don't ever get it. And that's
Right.
fine. When your time is your time. But I'm not just the two-headed doctor. I'm very educated as a Black woman. So it's like I teach my kids what the real is. I don't believe in teaching them, oh, boop, bop, boop. And I'm okay. Even though I'm wealthy physically, I'm wealthy in spirit. So that's one of my most wealth. My spirit is my knowledge. That's my wealth. Because that paper that you're talking about is nothing but nature outside turned into some form that got you tripping over it every damn day. You're tripping over something that's made out of a tree that serves you no purpose when you leave here and go to the next world. So this man and these delights, because that's what your word, your tongue is power, and that's
Mm-hmm.
how we stuck and stagnant too. What's the main three prisons for the women, men, and children? What's the main three prisons? The school for the kids is the prison, the jails for the men, and the churches for the women.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
Those are the three prisons.
That's facts.
When you send your kids to school and they come home, what they got to learn? Spelling words,
Mm.
spelling
Mm.
words, spells, spells of the tongue, the words. Good morning. What am I mourning about? I didn't die. You mean peace and light or blessings? But you don't even want to say that because I mean be less.
You cooking. You cooking.
You
And
know what I'm saying?
out of the years, the many years that I've been conscious, I've never even peeped that spell. You cooking.
Mm-hmm. And this is how they get you. When they put these movies out and stuff, they not just movies that's false. They giving you bits and pieces of truth and lies. The same way with the books. When we read these books, because I was Muslim for 20 something years, you hear me? I mean, niqab, all black, married, polygamy, you name it, I did it. I know how to speak Arabic and everything. But as time go on, you go your trauma. Like I said, your traumas help you understand better. Because I always was smart, but it's just like I went to Islam because Christianity wasn't making sense to me. It didn't make no clarity to me. And Islam was the closest thing that had me understanding. Like, okay, at least I know God is not the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost.
Right. Right. There you go.
It's a prophet that is after. But even with that, I'm sitting in the masjid one day, and I'm like, now in Islam, you're not to question the law.
That's right.
And I'm sitting in the masjid, and I'm like, well, wasn't the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was 30 something when they discovered him as the messenger of Allah, and he married his first wife Aisha radiallahu anha, who was 6 years old? Ain't that pedophilia?
Teach. Teach.
No, but you ain't supposed to question the law. But you ain't supposed to question the law. You ain't supposed to question
Teach.
the law. Then I'm
Teach.
like, I'm sitting there, I'm like, okay. So it's 7 levels of the hellfire, and the person that got the highest penalty is the prophet's uncle, only because he didn't accept shahada, la ilaha illallah. And that is his feet boiling on coal and his brain is boiling. So you're basically telling me that I'm gonna go to hell anyway, because I'm
Mm.
human and I make mistakes.
Mm.
So
Mm.
now I gotta fear my Lord. Oh, what's the spirit in here? Look at that. I gotta fear my Lord. I can't be happy and just about my Lord. Who made this shit up?
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
And I'm gonna go back when my grandma made me sit in church every Sunday to hear some shit that didn't make sense. Not
Teach.
because she believed in everything that was in that book, but because our forefather tradition. My mom went to church. My mom went to church. That's the right thing to do. Because we're
Teach.
not reading that whole Bible. If we
No.
was, we'd be open. If the New Testament, the Old Testament, the King James Version, wash that out the way for a second. What's the real Bible?
Mm.
The
Mm.
Giaz, the Ethiopian Bible that people don't speak on. That's $2,000 or more to get. That tell you that you don't follow a God. God is actually within yourself.
Mm.
Roma said, let's take that shit out of here. Script, rip them pages out And our new page says, we homosexuals, and this is what we gonna do. This is why Easter we gonna celebrate it, not because just Jesus risen from the dead. We gonna tell you that, but we really was taking the eggs and we was having sex rituals around, and we was taking and we was sacrificing babies and all types of shit. But you know that's another topic for another day. However, that's how that goes. So now I'm sitting in the masjid because I know that's bullshit over there, and I'm sitting over here and I'm just like, hell no. Then I come up in this house when I purchased it about 5 years ago, and it's just spirits running all around here. I mean, shit that you wouldn't even think of.
Y'all know how it is. Y'all know how it is when we get to dropping jewels. Look, I ain't dropping jewels. She dropping jewels. And look, it happens all the time, y'all. Come on back up, Bree. Whenever we get to dropping jewels, somebody.
They don't want me talking to y'all, Shank. They don't want me talking to y'all.
No, it happens to me all the time. When I'm dropping jewels, look, when I'm dropping jewels, I have like about 3 people in my chat, 5 people watching. If I'm doing some boom fumerous type, 300, 800, 1,000.
You know that's how I go because it's too much knowledge, it's too much power. And then you know what happens when the world is chaotic? What should I do? Well, my motherfucker, I tried to tell you already. You didn't listen. Now you want my help. I hate how we think sometimes. I hate how we are. I really do. And I don't want to hear it's because they how the oppression days was and how they did this. Our ancestors paved the way for us. So whether you woke up or not, that's what happened. But I can't be I think I'm a person that I can't be around low vibrational people. I can't dumb myself down for people. Either you with me or you're not. And I believe in this, and this is one thing for you. One person is an army of 50.
Mm,
It takes one person to see you and pass the word on.
mm.
You'll have 50 people in the room and only one person pay attention.
Yeah.
So that's all you need. Less
And
is
that's
plenty
fact.
always. But yeah, that's enough jewels for me because I get on here, I be all day with you just busting it up about all types of shit with our people. I really would. I
They
can't.
want a part two. My chat want a part two. I want a part two. So you gotta let me know when you're available. Cause look, I could just sit back and just let you cook, and I don't gotta say nothing.
Um, I think I'm good next week sometime around towards the end. I'm good sometime around next week towards the end. I
Right?
got a lot of bookings and backs up. And then I gotta give myself a grace period in between
Yeah,
too, because I gotta take care of myself as well.
yeah,
My
yeah.
granddaughter is a seer and she's gifted, so I'll be into her. She's only 5 months, but she has
Wow,
a gift that I can't let her outside like that. That's that
wow.
type shit. Them see eyes be trying to
Yeah,
come.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And people think you crazy. Like, what's she talking about? No, I ain't crazy. I'm just being honest. I know I don't belong here. I know I'm not from this planet. I know that I belong somewhere else. I'm here in flesh because I'm here in this lifetime to understand that who I am is to help people to know who they are. And I know in the lifetime, in the times of the Egyptian days and things like that, I was a part of the sun Ra and everything else and the Mayats and things like that. I understand that. I understand that it's just what it is, you know. I understand that reincarnation is nothing but there's no heaven and hell. I understand that there's a dark and there's a light. And we choose the light because we're taught to choose the light. Because we say that's where heaven is at. When the dark is hell, when it's not, and you're just surfacing the realms. You're finding your way. That's why it's not good to well over family members when they transition, because you make them stagnant to stay behind to help you because you stuck, not because of them.
Wow,
That's why it's
wow.
not hard for me and to teach my kids. When someone transitions, you don't cry and well. If anything, they're crying and welling over us because this is temporary. They're everlasting. Why do you think you can see them in dreams? Why do you think you can see them in spirits? They're not dead. They just transition in another light. It's a spirit behind me right now. But me knowing that is because I know who I am. Y'all
That's
see
real.
it's spirits in y'all pictures when y'all take pictures. And if I didn't point it out to you, you wouldn't see it. Because we choose to see what we want to see. The programs, the religions is programs. Religions are a form of structure. It's to keep the people in line. If we simply had people not believing in religion and only spirituality, there'll be no governments. There'll be no this. There'll be no that. The world would be chaotic because everybody believes in what the real is. If they knew who they are, we would
Hmm.
be in a world of trouble. See what I'm saying? If y'all go to the plantation, one of my favorite plantations in New Orleans is the Whitney plantation. I like that white man because he gives the real on detail, even though he's a white man, because they know they take over everything we have.
Hmm.
But he simply breaks down how we use only spirituality, and we used to practice it in the church till they stripped us from that. They would say, "Don't use that jibber jabber shit. Only when I tell you to, and for you, me and the mistress."
Wow.
You can use your medicines for you, and if we want to, and it don't work that fast enough, if somebody was ill, then we might let you use our doctor.
It's facts. Real.
You know, herbs and shit ain't out there for no reason. And trees and all of that shit. I'm a midwife too. I deliver babies. Them trees ain't out there for nothing. Them herbs and that grass ain't out there for nothing. But you got these third parties that come in and they say, no, you can't do that shit no more. We gonna do this way. That's why the doctors, the anesthesia team, the pediatrics, all of them are in a cult. And when they go to residential school, they have to take an oath to stand by that oath, even when they know it's wrong. For an example, immunizations in your babies, getting 6 shots in one. What is going inside your child? You don't even know, but they know black people don't know. Give you this little piece of paper warning, this might be, we don't even look at it. You don't even know it's in your baby. What you think happens when you get a flu shot? You get sick, right? Take a flu shot, you wind up getting sick, then you get better. COVID's all that they try to punk you out of that. Oh, you got to take this. I'm not taking shit, and my kids ain't taking shit. And guess what happened? Shit don't even work. Shit ain't even. It was worth nothing. Now you got all this shit in your system, which is a tracker at this point. It's to intimidate the people, the elderly. Elderly people wasn't dying from no COVID. Some other people was dying because you was putting shit in their asses, and you tried to make it seem that way. But everybody's still walking around healthy that didn't take it. I'm cool. My kids cool. You talking
Me
about a
too.
virus
I
that
ain't
was good?
take it. I ain't
You
take it.
can't take that shit. Now it don't work, so you need a booster. What kind of booster do you need? Your body is not supposed to inject, it's supposed to reject. Everything's supposed to detox outside of you, not go inside of you. That ain't for the human system. We as a whole are made of what? Water and electricity. That's why we can sit in the sun all day. That's why we shock each other like, oh, you shocked me. That's why we don't smell like dog and monkey brain, as they say, because we don't have canine in us. We're made from earth. That's why when we take these human consumptions like animals that we eat in our bodies because we was raised to do that, that's why it takes so long to digest in our system. Versus the other kind, they digest it because they had certain fatty acids that digest theirs a certain way. Our bodies are not their bodies. But that's another topic for another day again.
Nah, you keep saying that. She keeps saying that, but she keep dropping the jewels. I
Now
try
I'm
to
gonna leave
warn
you
you to
alone.
get up out of here, but shit, you about to stay over here with us for the rest of the day.
Now I'm gonna leave y'all alone. I'm good. Yeah, just let me know sometime whenever I got next week available. I don't know about the
Yeah,
following, but whatever after that, the following I'll be good too. But
it'll probably be a Thursday, probably
yeah,
Thursday.
that's fine. Just let me know. I appreciate you for having me up on your show
I
and
appreciate
everybody that's
you.
watching and that was listening. I wish well over all of y'all and peace, love, and light always. And I
All
feel
right,
like you got a good thing going on. Keep it up.
I appreciate you here, Bree. I'm gonna put your link for all your social media so everybody can follow you.
All right. I'll talk to you guys soon.
All right, thanks, Bree.
All right.
Wow, give it up for Aunt Bree. Hey, y'all saw me. I was just like this. I was gonna let her cook. I wasn't planning on stopping her. I was going to just keep letting her cook. But once again, y'all, I will put all her social media links in the replay gang so y'all can make sure y'all follow her, subscribe, and show her some love. I just got a few announcements before we get out of here. And then I'll see y'all back at 10 p.m. for a Naziah Harris demonstration. So I know y'all been seeing my relationship demonstrations with Miss Parker, Pee Wee, Nikki Lynn, Juanita, Marty, and the rest of the Rock Squad. I'm going to be on Table Talk this Saturday, the 8th at 3 a.m. At 3 p.m. with Sister Selena. So make sure y'all pull up. Now, the conversation that we're going to be discussing is, would you choose a religion for your significant other's sake? Let's say if your significant other is a Muslim, and the only way that you can date her or him is you have to convert to being a Muslim. Would you do it? If your significant other is a Christian and you're not a Christian, and your significant other wanted you to come to church and give your life to the Lord Jesus Christ, would you have a problem with that? I believe that that's a very, very interesting subject. I believe there have been many, many of us that have been in that kind of relationship. I can remember at least one, and the young lady that I was in a relationship with, she got mad at me because I wouldn't come to church with her. And, we ended up breaking up because she said, well, any man that's going to be with me has to be a Christian and has to go to church. And, so we broke up. So I need everybody, to at least show us some support, because this is a new demonstration, a part of the platform that I'm trying to introduce to you all through the Rock Squad. So make sure you all pull up on me this Saturday, the 8th at 3 p.m. Appreciate this super sticker, Lisa. Appreciate that super sticker, Lisa. And if you would like to help me reach my goal for this demonstration, is super stickers and super chats. I'm only 8 super stickers or super chats away from me reaching my goal. Just click on the $ symbol and purchase a super sticker or a super chat. All right, I'm down to my last commercial, and this is anybody that may be interested in going to Ghana, the motherland, for a skating trip. Tap into tourafrica_net on Instagram.
I am Tammy Ross from LA. Practically lived in Ghana for 5 years now. I met great people and talented skaters. My passion for skating led to creating the Africa on Wheels Skate and Culture Tour to encourage people to do what they love in the motherland too. I've met very creative skaters, but noticed there are not many safe places to skate, although
the 2026 Skate Empowerment Tour to Ghana itinerary includes 7 days in 2 regions, traditional welcome ceremony, meet and greet mingle, Ghana Skate Life presentation, 4 historical and cultural attractions, community skate workshop, massages by waterfalls, the Cape Coast Annual Festival, Doing Business in Ghana Conference. You will skate at various safe locations and participate in the Cape Coast Annual Festival, including indoor skate rink in Accra, the main city.
Anybody interested in going on a skating trip to Ghana? DM tourafrica_net on Instagram. Hey, y'all been wonderful. Once again, let's give it up again for Aunt Bree. It's justice for Kada Scott. I'll see everybody back at 10 p.m. for a Naziah Harris demonstration. I'll leave the chat running and you all can hang around. Salute everybody. I'd like to place an order. Yeah. Hey, let me get a chicken box and a half and half. All right, good looking out. Tinted window screaming after law out my mouth. I'm switching lanes from up north to down south. Now everybody trying to figure how I put it down. I took my show on the road straight out of town. Pee-wee is my nigga, so you know I brought some crooks with me.
1998, they tried to throw the book at me.
Tell me what you see every time you take a look at me. A straight P, I only be where the hookers be. A old head, but still can pull any fly chick. One thing's for sure, you never see me ride a nigga dick. I got a thoroughbred who loves to call me pretty daddy. Through Alabama, getting hit in a pink caddy when I come through. Everybody knows me, the young niggas love me. They call me they OG. Go and do your homework about the shit that I spit. They gon' tell you that nigga Shank is legit. A chicken boxer half and half when I'm switching lanes. When I'm switching lanes. A chicken boxer half and half when I'm switching lanes. When I'm switching lanes. A chicken boxer half and half when I'm switching lanes. When I'm switching lanes. A chicken boxer half and half when I'm switching lanes. When I'm switching lanes. I eat a chicken box before I play a game of spades.
Can I get some ketchup?
Half is sweet tea mixed with lemonade. Some brown liquor with a Coke to sharpen up my skills. I switch lanes cause I only fuck with the real. Now she's a winner, so I got to keep her on my team. Plus I'm a real one, so I'll never ever sell her dreams. You wanna know if I'll quit or if I'll stop? But they say it ain't over till your casket drops. A chicken boxer half and half when I'm switching lanes. When I'm switching lanes. A chicken boxer half and half when I'm switching lanes. When I'm switching lanes. A chicken boxer half and half when I'm switching lanes. When I'm switching lanes. A chicken boxer half and half when I'm switching lanes. When I'm switching lanes.